we are seeing some really interesting things. We're seeing the early rise of the agent stuff, the agentic AIs. Now, they're not perfectly agentic. It's still a bit very early stage, but we're seeing how agents will use crypto as payment systems, something I've talked about for a long time. That's pretty clear being experimented.
Yeah.
Again, early stage, won't be this.
Can an agent create their own wallet and hold their own private key or not yet? They should be able to. I think Claude, I think it's Claude, one of them allows, I'm not an expert, allows the agent to actually do whatever you do on a computer like a cursor, and they can create the wallet, but then how do you store the wallet, private key, and keep it private?
Yeah, don't know yet, but look, people figure it out, because as we know about this space, it's this weird combination between ridiculous degens and ultra smart people, and they're generally the same.
Exactly. Yeah, and the ultra smart people become degens.
Oh yeah, and so they figure this shit out fast. And AI, so there's a lot of people tinkering in AI, and suddenly there's now a financial incentivization system, and they're like, oh my God, let's hyper accelerate because we can make money out of tinkering in my garage with LLMs, right? Which is the same idea of being able to tokenize anything cultural.
We have so in our business, we have an AI department as well. So we've got an AI show. We do a lot of work there, and we're starting to invest more in that space. And it's completely shifted to meme coins. She's got, what other industry has immediate liquidity with hundreds of millions market cap? So they're all looking at agents to kind of link into meme coins. Smart people, whether they admit it or not, will follow the money at some stage. And there's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion.
No, and then there'll be a bunch of scams, and But what's happening is important. What's happening is where people are coalescing around culture. I mean, there is signal in the fact that Dogecoin has survived this long.
When did Dogecoin launch?
2013 or something?
It's 2013.
Yeah.
That's insane. Oh yeah, meme coins. So you said you're involved in that space. Publicly, privately, do you talk about the coins you're investing?
About it because
nice.
I'm being as open as possible.
Okay.
I'm only in 2 right now. I'm switching at 3.
Really?
Actually.
That's it?
Yeah, because my whole don't fuck this up thesis is keep your core bets, the Bitcoins, the Ethereums, the Solanas, and for me it's SUI. So I keep...
Oh, you really got...
Yeah, on the foundation as well.
Okay.
But yes, I've been buying that in the open market because it's been the big outperformer. It's like the Solana of last cycle. So keep that, and then I say, well, look, with 10%, do what you want. Because then even if you blow it all up, it's the people who go out to 80% of the portfolio's memes, unless you're the best trader in the world, most people lose money over time. So I've just got a small allocation. It's flipped around over time, but generally right now, I managed to get, I've been in Doge for the last 5 months, expecting the election, the Elon effect. And the other one I'm in, just because it's just a brilliant meme, is smoking chicken fish.
I've seen that one. I remember they requested on my space once. I'm like, is that really a thing? I click on it. I mentioned Rand was on the show. I was like, Rand, yeah, Mario, it's blowing up. I'm like, no fucking way.
And they have registered a church in Texas. So it is a church, and the idea is they want to flip other churches in terms of value. And they have the chicken monuments. They have all this wordage around it. It's ridiculous. It's hilarious. It's like a Monty Python sketch that has become a meme. So I like it because it's different to dogs, cats, frogs, blah, 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 which was the whole old NFT craze. It just stands out on its own. You know what it is. It's like, there's no other image. It comes from from Reddit from 2005. This picture of this chicken that's ready to be roasted with a fish head stuffed in it with a Marlboro in its mouth. It's ridiculous, but it became legendary back in the early internet days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the meme continues, and now it's become a religion, which, if you think about it, what we're talking about is a meme becoming a religion, and religions are exactly that. They're memes, stories told to people to get them around a commonality of standards of stuff like that.
So you said Doge, the chicken fish. What was the third one?
Yeah, I've got a very small stake in Forest, which is the AI one.
Never invested in goats?
Yes. Oh, I missed it. And I was too angry to then do it.
Yeah, it's one of those.
If not, I was going to rage trade. But no, I missed it. I'm really angry because I was there from day one in that. So I missed all of that. And then, I've owned Bonk and I've owned...
Oh, not own anymore.
No. I tend to, once I get reasonably comfortable with what I've got, I tend to hyper concentrate.
Okay.
And the memes may be wrong, maybe not be wrong. I'm not really that fussed, not a big part. But really my focus is on the other tokens. I don't trade them, but I just put my eggs in one basket and watch that basket.
Yeah, I'm a lot more degenish than you.
Yeah.
So we incubate projects really early. So we try to get in really, really early. And it's hard not to be successful in the current environment.
I just don't have the bandwidth to do it. the honest truth.
Yeah,
Like
but-
you've got people around you. It's just me and Julian Battelle,
Why don't you build a team?
because that's not my skill set. I think macro is my skill set. I'm good at macro. I've done it for 35 years. That's where I make money.
You should partner with someone that does that. Like, we're at like over 110 team members now. And like the meme one is growing the fastest, even though it's still the smallest. And we still can't keep up. We still can't keep up.
Well, the way you're going to do it is fire all 110 people and use AI.
Already?
Not far off, my friend, not far off.
Do you think you can create an agent that will be able to find?
Yes, without question. There's already one on X. I don't know if it's a true agent or not.
What is it
called? AI XBT or something like that.
Essentially, what does it do? It's an agent that we're not invested in it. I don't know about it. So
No, and I've only just, somebody brought it to my awareness, can't remember who. And basically what it's doing is kind of analyzing Discord servers, X, blah, 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 and some on-chain data.
that's insane.
And it comes up with alpha. And it's got a token around it. I'm not fully aware of it. I don't own it. But
Is it a
it's coming
utility
faster than you think.
Is it I know we're not too deep in the project, but is it a utility token around it?
I have no idea.
Putting
Again,
it
I've
up.
only just gone down this rabbit hole, just started to look at it thinking, and I can't tell how real it is, whether it's a human behind
Could be just a
it.
person, could be a pump and dump, could be a rug pull. We have no idea. Just to be
that's-
the
yeah,
disclaimer there.
yeah.
But I'm going to check it out.
Basically, you can ask AI to build AI for you. You say, I want to replicate this. We're not very far away.
Moving so fast.
It's way too fast.
Does it scare you?
Doesn't scare me, but it's almost impossible to keep up. So everybody I know in this space, I've got to know a lot of people in the aerospace, everybody's underestimating the speed. Normally, you
Overestimate the short term, underestimate the long term. This is us to underestimate the short term and long term.
Yeah, I mean, because this is Metcalfe's law squared. This is what's known as Reed's law. This is the fastest exponential curve humanity's ever gone through. It's happening in front of our eyes. It was only 2 years ago that ChatGPT 3 came out,
That's crazy.
or 2 came out, I can't remember 3. And now look what's happening. It's insane. And the next models are about to come out any day now, and it's just going to keep going. The last iteration of ChatGPT 1.0, it has an IQ of 120, which is more than the average human, which is 100. But it has an IQ of 120 in every single subject known to mankind. It's a pure polymath, an expert at everything, better than the average person. Now, they suggest that, unlike Moore's law, which is the doubling of compute power every 2 years, it looks like intelligence of AI is doubling every 6 months.
That's insane.
So that means in 6 months' time, we'll have an AI with an IQ of 240, which is about as high as humans have ever had recorded. And then the year after that, we're at 500,000. And then it's like, okay, this is lower land. This is AGI. It's like, we don't understand, because we're humans and we're so arrogant that we just assume we're the smartest things that ever live. That is not going to be the case very, very soon.
But how does that not scare you?
Because you can either be fearful or you can invest in your own demise. And as part of this, we talked about the agents, the agents using crypto rails. Crypto rails is a way of security and truth within this world, because we're going to have to prove who's human and who's not. You may have 10 Mario bots in the future, 100, but you're going to need to prove them. And so, that whole scaling of this is a huge blockchain thing. People don't know it yet. They still think it's cryptocurrencies only. There's so much to this technology. So we might as well invest in our own future, in our own demise. And my view is we've got 6 years before we break the entire economic model of the world. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but GDP growth trend rate of GDP is driven by 3 factors only over time, longer periods of time. Population growth, productivity growth, debt growth. Debt growth finished in 2008, and we're just increasing debt to service old debts now. Population growth, every single major population in the world is shrinking. You happen to live in a region where it's not, and guess what? It's booming. India, booming. Why? Population growth. But everywhere else in the developed world, population.
I've covered it very closely with President Novak, so I know the topic.
And then old people are less productive, so productivity's gone down. Okay, so that's the world we're in. And I've proven this. I use the labor force participation rate of the United States. I can use it for any country. And if I invert debt to GDP, they're completely the same chart. So debts are just a function of demographics. And so the only way to change that equation of having to refinance the debts every 4 years, that cycle we talked about, is going to be changing the economic formula. And what we're about to do is we're going to add infinite population growth. And then by the time we bring down the cost of electricity via solar, nuclear, and all the other things, plus the productivity from the AI and the robots, that productivity number is going to go la la land. So we can see economies growing at 30% a year.
And would that solve the debt issue?
Yes, because it's debt to GDP that matters.
Yeah.
Because GDP is the engine that pays the interest payments on the debt or services the debt. The issue is it may not accrue to any of us as humans. 30% GDP growth. Okay, so what do you do? Do you tax the robots, tax the AI? Probably. Do we?
And they get pissed off about it, and they're like, "Why are we paying the tax?"
Well, that's another thing.
Exactly.
But this whole equation, right? So, okay, so there's the economic model. I think by 2030, 2032, we don't understand the whole study of economics fails because we can't understand this phenomena. Additionally, think about, we were talking about you build a bot that trades well. Now we can do it already, but within 6 months, I'll be able to drop it into ChatGPT and said, code a better version of this, and I want it on a different time horizon. It'll do it instantly, right? So all you've done is build a business based on attention only now. You do not have a moat in any software at all. It's the end of the SaaS business model. There is no moat. Moat is going to be community and attention, but it's not going to be in product because we can copy everything in an instant. The other thing is, and this was a great question, Beeple, the artist, asked me, he's like, Raoul, I was jokingly over a few drinks, he's like, what happens when the first person with AGI just points at financial markets? They just win the game. They become worth 10 trillion. We have to shut the markets down. I thought about that, and it's like, whether it plays out that way, we stand no chance as humans. How do we price markets when a super creature can see everything?
They're the ones that price the markets now.
That's right. They already price it in the short term because of the trading algorithms, but this is like, it can map out anything. It can have the long-term macro thinking. It can do all of these things. So
This is fascinating.
the next thing is, and this has come back into the crypto world. Okay, so the problem is you build this amazing trading bot before the AGI comes and takes over. Let's say in the next 6 years, before AGI is ruining everything for us, you build this thing and I copy you. And then somebody else copies us. Okay, so what we've got here is an issue for venture capital and private equity. Nobody's going to go public because the time horizon is too short now, because it's all about attention and not about business model moats. Some of that obviously still applies. So I think the ICO market has to come back. It's the only way to allow capital formation and destruction at the speed of which we need it. Because I'm sorry, but waiting 10 years for a VC to allow you to go public ain't going to cut it in this world. It's over.